I don't understand.
Defense network computers. New, powerful, hooked into everything. Trusted to run it all.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Today, we're going to test something quite unconventional, a modern smartphone paired with a $9 monocular lens attachment. Now, obviously this isn't professional equipment. But here's the thing, for such a tiny price, you're getting a modular, adaptable zoom solution that works with nearly any phone. And that opens up a whole world of creative possibilities. Is it as good as a dedicated zoom camera? Probably not. But this setup isn't trying to be perfect, it's trying to be accessible. You can throw it in your bag, snap it onto your phone, and suddenly get way closer to your subject, birds, wildlife, concerts, even faraway text signs, without breaking the bank. And what's great is how flexible this system is. You can swap lenses, upgrade to a higher quality monocular, or even 3D, print your own mounts to match your device. It's a great entry point for experimental mobile photography or educational purposes. So in today's test, we'll find out, can this $9 add-on, paired with a 100 megapixel Xiaomi smartphone, really compete with a camera that was purpose-built for zooming, the Sony Xperia H70 with its 10x optical zoom? Let's see what happens when creativity meets a traditional company backed by years of advanced optical and focusing expertise. The Sony Xperia DSC H70 is a compact digital camera that stands out with its impressive 10x optical zoom, making it ideal for travel, nature, and distant subject photography. Unlike digital zoom, which degrades image quality, the H70's optical lens system maintains sharpness and clarity even at full zoom. The 25 to 250 mm equivalent lens covers a wide range, from wide-angle landscapes to close-up telephoto shots, without losing detail. Sony's long-standing expertise in lens design and autofocus technology ensures that zoomed-in shots remain crisp, well-focused, and vivid in color. Built-in optical image stabilization helps reduce blur, especially during handheld shooting at long focal lengths. With a 16.1 megapixel CCD sensor, the H70 delivers high-resolution images, and its dedicated zoom lever gives users precise control, unlike smartphone touch zoom. Despite its age, the H70 still holds its own in zoom performance, making it a reliable tool for those who need reach, clarity, and ease of use in one compact package. In the right corner, the flexible challenger, the Xiaomi 11T Pro, boasting a massive 100 megapixel sensor, supported by a lightweight $9 monocular telescope and a bit of DIY creativity, a setup that says, why not try it if it works, and not far behind, our second challenger who will show his skills with the monocular, the compact 4 megapixel Wi-Fi eyepiece camera. Built specifically for telescopic use, stable, wireless, and precise, a true underdog in this race of reach and clarity. The monocular used in this test is a 10 by 42 mm portable zoom lens, which is mounted to the smartphone using a universal adapter specifically designed for monoculars. This setup allows the phone's camera to see directly through the lens, effectively turning it into a zoom-capable device. This compact lens can be found on platforms like Temu for as little as $6, making it one of the most affordable ways to enhance smartphone photography. The electronic monocular eyepiece, as the name suggests, is specifically designed for applications like this, mounting directly onto telescopes, spotting scopes, or monoculars. Thanks to its dedicated mounting system, the sensor is precisely aligned in the optical center of the monocular, ensuring a perfectly centered image without the trial-and-error adjustments required by smartphone adapters. For this test, we placed a small paper rabbit target, just 5 by 5 centimeters in size, on top of a tree stump. Then, we positioned ourselves at a distance of approximately 8 meters from the target. From that distance, the rabbit is barely visible to the naked eye, almost impossible to spot without some form of magnification. That's where the zoom systems come into play. With a zoom lens properly aligned and focused directly on the rabbit, we should be able to clearly bring it into view. We'll start by showing you a wide shot taken with the Sony Xperia H70, giving you a sense of how far the rabbit really is. Then, we'll zoom in to the maximum optical level to see how well the Sony can isolate and reveal such a tiny subject from a distance. Let's take a look. Next up is the Xiaomi 11T Pro, paired with a manual 10x monocular zoom lens attached using a universal smartphone adapter. Just like before, we're standing 8 meters away from the tiny 5 by 5 centimeters rabbit target on the tree stump. Unlike the Sony, this setup doesn't have built-in zoom or autofocus control. Instead, the monocular must be manually aligned and focused to point precisely at the rabbit. It takes some time and patience, but once it's locked in, the image can be surprisingly detailed. Thanks in part to the Xiaomi's 100-megapixel sensor, which allows for digital cropping without losing much quality, we'll begin with a wide shot to show what the camera sees through the monocular at minimum zoom, followed by a manual zoom into the target, using both the optical range of the monocular and the digital power of the phone. Finally, we test the 4-megapixel Wi-Fi eyepiece camera, a device specifically designed for telescopes and monoculars. Just like in the previous setups, the 5 by 5 centimeters rabbit target is placed on a tree stump at a distance of 8 meters. However, unlike the smartphone setup, this system uses a precisely aligned mount that places the sensor perfectly centered behind the monocular's optics. To wrap things up, we've placed all 3 final images side by side for a direct comparison. On the left, we have the underdog of the group, the 4-megapixel Wi-Fi eyepiece camera. Despite its low resolution, it delivers a centered and stable image thanks to its precise mounting. In the middle, we see the result from the Xiaomi 11T Pro, paired with the manual monocular adapter. This setup shows what's possible when high-resolution sensors meet budget optics and some hands-on creativity. And on the right, the veteran of the group, the Sony CyberShot H70, with its 10x optical zoom and years of built-in camera engineering. Each system has its strengths, and seeing them side by side gives us a clear idea of how far you can go, whether you're using a specialized device or simply working with what you have. Which one impressed you the most? In the end, it's up to you to decide which setup works best for your needs, whether you value resolution, portability, precision, or just the fun of experimenting with new tools. Personally, I was genuinely impressed by the 4-megapixel Wi-Fi eyepiece camera. Despite its lower resolution, it delivered a surprisingly solid and centered image, with minimal setup hassle. Big thanks to everyone who watched until the end. If you enjoyed this comparison or learned something new, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel grow and keeps projects like this going. Thanks again for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.